Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Heroes Untapped. This is the show bringing you all the cool Aftermath events from the championships on the weekend, plus anything else cool happening in the ANZ region. We've got a couple of great guests on the show tonight. We've got Ello from Onyx eSports. Hey, Ello, good sir. Tell us a little bit about yourself for those in the channel that don't know who who Ello or Onyx eSports is.
Hey, I am Ello from Onyx eSports. I'm the flex player and also the captain. We are a community-driven team. We just, with Grumpshot, trying to set up a small community thing for lesser players to get into some scrims and competitive games, and that's about it.
It's you say that, but recently you guys have been having a little bit of a roster change, getting some new players on. Heard some good things from Grumpshot, the esports, I guess you say boss, the man of Onyx eSports. I've heard you guys have been taking some games away from some pretty big teams in the scene.
Yeah, recently we've taken a couple games off for some teams, whether or not it's just because they didn't see it coming. They thought we'll push over or whatever, and we just got a couple of random games, so we just played well. But it's good to see that we're finally improving after about 2 months.
That's really good to hear. New team coming up. So that is Ello from Onyx eSports. Joining us on the show tonight is also Ninja, not just any Ninja, the Ninja from team Negative Synergy, current champions in the ANZ region from the season 1 on the weekend. Tell us, Ninja, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Ninja. I play for Negative Synergy. Obviously, been playing this game for a year and a half, nearly 2 years. Yeah. HOTS is a great game.
That's it. Well, you're at the top. It's not just a great game for you. You're currently at the top of your game, being in Native Synergy. Like I said, they did win the championship on the weekend, so you must be pretty happy and proud of yourself with that. Just a little bit?
Yeah, really good. Probably most exciting thing done with gaming so far.
Yeah. Well, even last year, you were actually part of XL5 last year, weren't you?
Yeah, came second. That was devastating.
Well, it must feel pretty good. Last year you came second, didn't win, but this year come first. So not only is there a natural improvement in yourself, but just also in the team aspect as well. Going from such a strong team like XL5 to an even stronger one, Negative Synergy, and now winning the championship. Must be a pretty good feeling in that regards. But anyway, we'll get back to that because we are going to talk about the championships in the show later tonight. But you may notice, everyone, that there is a different name you may not have heard of. To my left or right, I can't know, stage left or right, something like that. I do have new show host, Polter, joining me on the stream tonight. Polter, good sir, please introduce yourself and tell people about you.
G'day, how you going? Yeah, I'm Polter, as Disco said. I don't stake any claims to be awesome at Heroes. I do love it. I'm probably horrible. I think I'm ranked 31 in Hero League. However, when I'm not playing Heroes, I'm watching Heroes. I'm one of those people that those who can't play, coach. Those who can't coach, watch. That's about it about me. Other than I put my hand up to help Disco out here, and here we are.
Well, it's great to have you here. What was that? That's one of my kids running in the background, pretending it's a flash or something, I don't know. And well, it's great having you on the show, Polter. I'm really excited. This week's show, guys, was written by Polter, basically. So huge round of applause goes to him because it's going to be a great show written by someone who's way more competent than I am. But anyway, let's get into it. So tonight's show, we'll be talking about the grand final results, what happened over the weekends. We'll have a bit of a look at the update on the teams, what teams are doing now, who's still around from the championships, from the qualifiers. And then we're also going to check out the balance changes that recently came to Heroes of the Storm this week. Plus new hero Zul, or Sol, I don't know, not quite sure how you should be pronouncing his name. The Necromancer. Oh, he looks so good. I can't wait to talk about him.
Money love.
And then also it's we're just going to also bring up the Kickstarter for the Autumn League, finished today or recently. And we'll just bring it up. Unfortunately, it wasn't met, but we will discuss that a little bit. And then finally, we'll end the show with some amazing viewer questions that we've gathered over the last about 18 hours. So I'm very excited for that. So kicking it off, first off, the grand final results from the weekend. Like we said earlier, Ninja, congratulations. Negative Synergy are the top dog in the ANZ region right now. Congratulations should be thrown out to Fresh, Micro Gods, and Override for rocking up on the day and playing to their hardest. All the games shoutcasted were amazing, and it's just big congratulations. But the biggest one is to yourself, Ninja. Just tell me, how did it feel? How did it feel when you knew that you were going to Korea?
When I found, well, obviously, like, you realize it in the game, like, before you even won, and it was pretty anticlimactic, actually. We just, like, won the team fight, we're all walking to core, and it's like, did we just actually win?
Yeah.
And then everyone got excited once it just sunk in that everyone actually just won.
Yeah.
And everyone's gone to Korea.
So is that sort of slow advance? You took the team fight, you knew the core was open, and it was like just so much time. There wasn't pure excitement around fighting for the core. You didn't know that team fight would have been the winning moment. So you're just saying it, and it's not until after the game it really sunk in. I mean, in Twitch chat, you guys came to the Twitch chat because there was a bit of a delay on the stream, and like the roof was going off. You guys, we did it, boys! We're going to Korea and stuff. And you guys were super excited at that moment. It looked amazing. So it didn't. Well, following on from that, it's there was a big thing on the day that you guys were playing really just so well. Just tell us how are you guys so good? That's the biggest question. How are you guys so good? Because on the day you only dropped one game.
So positive.
Yeah, like Negative Synergy, more like maximum awesomeness or maximum knows how to do everything. You guys just looked so good on the day.
Yeah, we're all really good individually, and it just comes together as a team even better, despite the team name. And I don't want to take anything away from the ANZ scene, but there isn't too much of like competition at like the top end. But everyone played well on the day. Fresh gave us a run for our money.
Yeah, they gave you a little bit of scare in the finals, didn't they?
Yeah, after the first game. It's just everyone had to stay calm. That was it, pretty much. The only way we're going to lose that set was tilting. So if everyone just stayed calm, we were going to win that eventually.
I mean, even that first game, you guys did. Even though you lost it, you still played really well, got yourselves back into the game, and it was just that last, do or die moment. The cards just didn't fall in your favor, but then you came back anyway in the following games, won the set, and you asked again. What do you see as the biggest difference between you and say a team like Fresh? Why did Negative Synergy win? Compared to a team like Fresh, what did Fresh need to do before the event or on the day to come out on top like you guys did? Not so much targeting Fresh, but just teams like Fresh.
Yeah, I mean, our team specifically, like all of us are really good. Like no one makes those little mistakes that other teams make. I want to that's less consistently rather. So everyone's pretty much. I don't even know what I'm saying.
No worries. Well, but makes sense. You're talking about what you guys I feel is you've got a little bit of history. Like you formed for the first qualifier, and you actually formed even way before the first qualifier for another event that was happening that didn't go ahead. And so you've been in that thought, and you've been training, gathering experience. You're all good players individually. So it's just a time game, isn't it? It's just a time getting to know how each other plays. And I think it just showed on the day. You guys instinctively knew what each other was going to do. All your communications is off the charts. Just Ello, I'm sure you were watching the matches on the weekend.
Yep, definitely.
What was your take? Like watching Synergy play, watching the other teams play. What was your take? Like why were they so much better?
With Negative Synergy, I think they just team fought a lot better. I don't know. I can't really remember the drafts and everything, but I'm pretty sure they won a lot of the drafts, getting comfort picks and stuff.
Yeah.
There's only that one game against Fresh where I was watching. I was like, well, Negative Synergy doesn't seem to be playing at their best, but they brought it back and just showed the region why they're the best. So I don't know, all around, I think they just
Hmm.
outplayed the other teams more
Yeah.
than anything.
All right. So I'm just hearing negative synergy are just better.
Yeah, I think that's just the way it is. They've been together the longest out of all those sorts of teams as well,
Yeah.
I think. I'm not exactly sure,
Hmm.
but I definitely seen those five guys together in
Hmm.
parties, a lot longer than the other teams. So
Yeah. Ello brings up a good point. Like playing comfort heroes
Hmm.
in like a high pressure match like the finals makes a really big difference on
Yeah.
how people perform individually.
Hmm. All right, so
yeah,
you're just lucky. I mean, and you go against Fresh. They had that Chen pick as well. I mean, what I have to ask. So Chen has been seeing a lot of play recently, and he's been using actually a little bit of bully tactics. He's actually quite good at bullying someone in a lane because he can absorb a lot of damage. What did you feel, Ninja, when you saw that? When you saw Chen come out of Fresh?
We would have been worried if he took Barrel, but like knowing Arcana like through
Yeah.
scrims and Hero League, I don't
Mm.
think we've ever seen him pick Barrel once. So he
Yeah.
obviously he picked the Storm Earth Fire and like
Mm.
that doesn't do anything, so you're not scared of Chen at all.
Yeah. All right, so up to that moment, so really you guys were looking at the level 10 going, man, they've got Chen. What are they planning? And, you were looking for that level 10. What's their plan? And when you saw that, you were a bit more comfortable, not so
Yeah.
much concerned of the Panda.
One less
Yeah, one less thing to
obstacle you
worry
have to
about.
worry about. Yeah.
All right,
pretty
and
sure that's all Chen's picked for now, isn't it? The barrel? I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the only
Sometimes,
reason
yeah.
why Chen's picked at the minute.
It's a bit of a weird one because there's not very many good stats for Chen at the moment because everyone still in the Hero League and stuff takes the Earth Storm Fire or whatever it's called. For whatever reason, there's still a lot of that going on in Hero League, so you have to really look at all the competitive matches to see what's happening. And I don't think anyone really pays too much attention to Chen at the moment. It's Polter. What did you feel about those picks coming out from Fresh on the weekend? So just talking about Chen, but
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
loved
that's not the first time we saw Fresh on the weekend do something crazy. They had the first pick Abathar, last pick Illidan. Now, while that's not a bad combo, just the way they draft that game was so impressive.
it. Look, it worked for him. I
Mm.
think it was just, from my opinion, it was unexpected. I don't know if Ninja can elaborate on that, but it seemed
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they didn't see that coming at all.
Mm.
We
I
kind of
don't know.
expected the Zeratul pick, but not the Abathar.
Yeah.
That's what really.
Yeah.
It's really out there, especially that early.
Yeah, it was a weird one.
But again, I don't know. I'm sure you mentioned scrims earlier, so you wouldn't scrim too many teams being ANZ. You wouldn't have a limit. You'd have a limited pool of teams to scrim with, so you'd scrim with these guys a lot. To say it's not expected, do they practice? I don't know if they've practiced that strap much, but it works. So
Yeah, I was about to say Ninja.
argument
Is
for
that
it,
something that
exactly.
Fresh surprised everyone on the day with? The Abathar Illidan? I mean, it's sort of an old combo, right? And it's worked pretty well historically. But recently, a lot of people have shied away from that sort of combination, and we saw it in the qualifiers coming off one of a less known team. But then to see Fresh busted out, the runners up for the event. What are your sort of thoughts? Is that something that have you seen them do that in scrims?
The Illidan or the Zeratul?
Let's say a combination of both.
Well, the Zeratul, we had a suspicion that they do, but they didn't really. I don't think they played Illidan versus us, so like obviously it's not scary at all.
Yeah.
It's been reversed it.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, just looking at. I mean, that's just. It was actually. I hate to say it because the name is Fresh, but it was so refreshing, just having those picks come up and for them to do well as well. I mean, I think there was one competition they ran that was like Illidan. Zeratul. Maybe Zeratul's the Gara and Felstad or something. Or like I didn't feel they had a lot of DPS, but they still managed to work really well with it and get a game off. So no, I really like that. So anyway, so the next stop for you guys is Korea. How do you feel you guys are going to do in Korea? But I'll do this, Ninja. How do you feel you guys are going to do in Korea?
Obviously, it's going to be hard, but like, that saying about aim for the stars or something. I mean, aim for the moon. I don't know what that saying is. Something about moon and stars, but yeah, obviously it's going to be hard. But everyone really wants to win, so I think that's going to help us take sets off teams.
All right. What's
just on that, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ninja, where do you guys look now for practice?
But right now,
I mean, do you still want to scrim ANZ teams up till Korea, or
I think the majority of ANZ teams have disbanded. Like Demise specifically has come to us and told us if we want scrims, he'll make a team of 5 just for scrims. But I think the others just having a break at the moment. And by the time everyone wants to play HOTS again, I think it's a team from SCA will have won and qualified, so we'll just be versing them. I think the plan is.
Yep, fair enough.
All right, so looking to our SEA brethren to fill that gap. What about trying to look to? I mean, we've had Fresh. I think Fresh have stayed. They're pretty much we're a pickup group for the qualifiers for the championships. What about trying to get in contact with these teams again, or even some of the high-end qualifying teams from the high-end teams from the qualifiers, like Remnants of Kyanite Esports, Jam Gaming, potentially the Cynical Strategy guys, seeing if they can just get together and form the team, because they were just high-end competing players, or is it really just SEA? Like, that's really look. I don't think the ANZ team's going to give us that much.
I don't think. No offense to ANZ teams, but whoever's left, they're not really what we want to be scrimming against. Yep. So it's really just the SEA team that's going to win is who we're going to be scrimming against.
Yep.
Planning to, at least.
All right, so hear that, ANZ region, get better, guys. You got to give our champions a run for their money.
Hope that didn't sound too harsh.
I think that's perfectly understandable.
It's harsh but fair. What do they call it? Just but fair, or something like that. No, it's a more than legitimate statement, I reckon. But I'll open up to Ello and Polter. Polter, I'll ask you first. What do you feel would be a good result for the ANZ region? Like the guys going over there. If Negative Synergy came 5th, would that be like an amazing result for us? Like what do you think is a good result? You know, if you guys go over there and get knocked out first round, that's it. Come last. I mean, is that a good result for the ANZ scene just to be a part of the thing? Or do you think a good result would be more 5th, 6th?
If I say anything apart from first, I might annoy Andrew a little bit. But let's say, realistically, I think anything that's going to get people talking about the ANZ team and get people looking into these 5 players and get people noticing that they're there. I mean, realistically, I don't expect them to win. It's the first time for a lot of regions to even come up to this level, especially up. So, I mean, anything that they can do to get more people from the ANZ region specifically and around the world looking at Heroes of the Storm here and the esport as a whole, then, I mean, that's a win for everyone involved. And the trip to Korea is a winner in itself. So,
so you're looking more from a game perspective. Can we really, if they go over there, if Negative Synergy go over there and they just, they could lose every single game, but if every single game's 40 minutes long with really weird meta picks, but they just seem to play them so well that, even though they don't win, but they really push the other teams to the limit, that's what would be a good result for us.
And I think for Negative Synergy as a team, I think the best result for them would be the mentorship and to be able to rub shoulders with some other people from other regions to learn. I think that's the biggest thing they get to take away. And God bless, I hope you do smash them and come first, but really, realistically, anything's positive.
Well, we'd all definitely be cheering for Negative Synergy over there. Elo, what about yourself? What's a good result for us, for the ANZ region? Because all the hopes and dream, Ninja, going out to you, mate. Carrying all our hopes and dreams over there.
Well, I was talking about this with the Onyx boys, and I think Negative Synergy because I've watched every region's like qualifiers and everything, and I definitely think the Negative Synergy have the capability of coming like first out of the lesser regions. So like the regions that only get one spot. I think if Negative Synergy, they get in, they practice, they scrim, and they stick together and they work well, I think they'll definitely be able to like beat Latin America, Taiwan, C, and all those teams. But up against the bigger regions, the more competitive scene, they might maybe able to take a game or two off them, but they might. So I think being able to beat all those other regions and then being like first in that bracket, then I think that'll be like a huge thing for us, and it might even get us some eyes on the ANZ region. But even then, any sort of camera time for ANZ is good. So.
Yep. All right, fantastic. So we're just looking for amazing plays, effectively. Yeah. Amazing plays. And you're thinking that we can take a couple of wins off the maybe the similar regions. So you reckon you say fifth?
Yeah. How many teams are there again?
Top 8, isn't it? Oh, not
yes,
top 8.
12.
Sorry, 8. Oh, 12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, they definitely come. Yeah,
Mm.
it's 8, 7, they're around there.
Yep.
Hopefully, that's what it like. That's what I really hope that you
Mm.
guys push for. But you never know; they could even go further.
Yep. First place, man. Ninja first place would be so amazing. I couldn't. I mean, it'd be so amazing for you guys, wouldn't it? Right?
Yeah, that'd be good, but it's a bit. Yeah, it's a bit
Uh,
far-fetched, maybe. We'll be
Uh,
lucky to get like 4th.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you get take like make a really good showing against the higher teams, like people will notice you if you like put up good games against the really good teams. Like you don't necessarily have to win, but as long as like you do well, like the world
you
will
put up
notice
a
it, I
good
suppose.
showing, effectively.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. That is the championship. What did actually? Just one last thing. What were your guys' favorite moments from the championship? Polter, I get you guys to go first. What was your favorite moment of the day? Could be anything. Could be the shoutcasting, for example. Love the shoutcasters there, or
Oh. Are we going favourite or least? Nah,
no.
favourite. I'd say game 1 of the grand final.
Yeah.
First, I thought that was the. I think that was a game that Negative Synergy went into a lot more, with a lot more. Thought they were going to win a lot easier than they did, but I thought it was a good game. Thought Ninja, Fresh tried, but I enjoyed watching that one the most, definitely.
All right. So first game fight. Ello, what about yourself? Favorite moment of the day?
I can't remember it too much because I got a shocking memory, but the whole thing was pretty good. It was a lot better. The whole day was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So I think I was just pretty like amped with the whole thing overall. There was no favorites, I suppose. I guess the grand final matches were the best.
Too easy. And Ninja, what about yourself? Obviously, winning was probably the best part of the day for yourself. But aside from that, what else? What was your great moment from the day?
Great moment. It'd have to be the 5-man gust into 5-man mosh pit
Yeah.
in the first
yeah, that was
game of
huge.
the day. That's definitely the highlight.
That was massive. When I saw that, I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, I saw it all position. I thought, he's going to gust. And then, like, that gust went off and Rodo was dove into them so deep. It's like, I'm going to get this 5-man mosh pit's going off. And bam, it was. It was incredible. We need to highlight that shit. That's what we need to do.
I think there is one.
Yeah, I think Skimmy and Starving are
Yeah,
doing
they
a couple things. That's definitely a great play of the day. All right, so moving on, because that's it for the championships. Actually, I guess, before we move, does anyone else have anything else they want to say about the day?
Oh,
No.
it's
What was
like
your...
the,
Oh, sorry.
there you go, man.
Disco, from your opinion, from casting and hosting, how
Yeah.
do you think it was run overall?
The day itself was run very well. I will say it was we were, to be honest, we were one of the best streams in the entire championship round so far. We didn't have delays. We didn't have many stream problems. We were pretty fast to get games going. The drafting was done at a pretty good speed. Like, from a streaming and running of the day event, I think it was pretty good. As a thing as a whole, I think there was a lack of promotion, like heaps of lack of promotion from Blizzard and ESL's part on the day. I think there was scheduling problems. You know, we couldn't stream. As far as I love ANZ Heroes TV, great channel because I own it, I run it. These are the championships. They should have been on ESL Australia or Blizz Heroes. You know.
Well, that's it.
So
I think that was the biggest issue, was the scheduling.
Yeah. So that was a big thing. The promotion.
Hopefully, it was an oversight that won't happen next time. So.
Well, even to be honest, even a little bit of timing. You know, teams were given about just under 2 weeks to organise themselves for the qualifiers, and this was $20,000 prize pool. So I think the overall running of it definitely could have been a lot better in a lot different areas, but the day itself was done very well. Yeah, it's definitely if you were being devil's advocate and you said, where did all the money go for production? it all went on the it also went on the championship day because it was just run so well, and the casters were amazing. What can I say? Casting was fantastic. All right, just for anyone that doesn't realise, I was actually part of the casting crew on the day. So I mean, but even there was even some questions about the casters as well, which I think that on the day they were actually all really good. They were good choices and did well, but there was even some questions about the casting because a lot of people wanted to see more community casters. So not even listening to generally what the community wants.
I think like
Sorry, we weren't the only region that got that though.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys know. Definitely the US had the exact same issue.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware who Caldor is. He's not doing the EU one. So everyone's having the same issue. So whether that's ESL or Blizzard, who knows?
Well, I mean, there's so many other things, right? Even from a budgeting perspective, right? It's in Australia, like, what do you do? Yes, Blizzard are a big corporation; they have a lot of money, but you can't just, you just can't fork out hundreds or thousands of dollars for flights for people who generally are in an untested environment. I did the qualifiers, but up until that day, Blizzard and ESL didn't know if they made a good choice. I could have been terrible. Shoutcasting from your bedroom is much different from in a studio situation. So I mean, even the install, it's such a tough thing. It's versus what people want versus what's actually good production wise as well. Sorry, Ello, I talked over right top of you.
No, that's alright. I was just wondering, like, with the casting is like, one of the dudes was kind of relying on you to like analyze the matches and stuff. Didn't really know a whole lot about the game, but he had like the hype. So I was wondering, like, he was like super hype and good at like bringing it alive. So I was wondering, like, with what do you think moving forward? Should we have like a hype man and an analyzer? Like, do you think that's what they should do? Like,
what? It's funny. I've personally been a big advocate of in Heroes of the Storm separating out the two concepts. Combining two concepts. Like, so much stuff happens that you can't sort of have an analyst and a hype caster. However, after that event, to be honest, I'm kind of rethinking that a little bit because it worked really well actually. You had one person generating the hype who was constantly asking questions, and that's just a matter of the experience of we're talking about Inferno. That's what we were talking about here. And let's not hide names. And there's nothing, and I'm not going to say anything bad. And Inferno is a great shoutcaster, a great hype man. Does he have, he doesn't have the same knowledge of Heroes of the Storm as myself, but on the day, because of the dynamics, he there was a little bit reliant on my knowledge, but I think it made a great dynamic. He was constantly asking questions, kept it engaging between fights. So I just think it was, props to be in that situation.
That was definitely the thing that I think he did really well. He kept the conversation going. Even, I think there was a delay from my memory at the very start of the stream. Only for a couple of minutes or so, but I think he struggled there, but he really did keep the conversation going and kept asking those questions, which is what the hype partner should do. Yeah, and
he did it well. I mean, hands down, 100% did it well. I'm not going to say anything else because it was good and it really made the stream of the day, to be honest.
Yeah, it did. I think it was really good because like the Dota, the major's on at the moment, and they do that. They have two casted. One sits there and analyzes the items and everything, the heroes and stuff, and the other one in the team fights goes nuts and gets everyone hype. And I think that's what you guys did, and it worked really well. And I was wondering, they should probably think to do that going forward.
Yeah.
Rather than just having like everyone talk about the same thing.
Yeah.
Like have one guy ask the questions, the other one answer them, and it just worked really well.
No, it definitely did. No, it was a good day. There was a bit of pre-thought put in that as well. Like at the start, we all talked about it a bit, and it was said, look, we'll get you to do a little bit more of the analysis, and we'll do a little bit more of the hype casting, and it worked well. I mean, it worked perfect. I mean, these are, let's face it, these are professionals. They know what they're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So it did work well this year. I think a lot of people complained a lot last year, but I think it worked fantastically this year. It's so hard saying it because I was there, right? So of course I'm going to say it went amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on from that point. So that was the championships on the weekend. Let's move on. So let's talk about team updates. So obviously Negative Synergy are still around. They haven't gone anywhere. Unfortunately, Fresh is out. According to talking to the captain Steve-O, saying Fresh was always formed as a pug team, pickup team for the event, and afterwards we have disbanded, gone in our separate ways, but but they've all left on good terms. It's not like they disbanded because they hate each other. They just knew they were a pickup group, and they knew that they weren't going to survive to the end unless they obviously went to Korea and continued on like that. So it's Micro Gods are still sticking around. They're still in. They're going to continue on, and I don't know what shape or description their roster is going to be like, but they've said that they'll be sticking around. Override, I think Override's gone. I think they've split up. They're all trying to join different teams. I got a little bit of a interesting thing happening with some of their members trying to actually jump to a different group, different team. But those top four, so out of the top four, do you think this is pretty good? We've got top 4 teams, 2 have disbanded and 2 are sticking around. What's your take on that, guys? Ninja, what your take? Do you think that's good for the scene that we've had out of our top 4, we've still got 2 of your teams sticking around? Or do you think that maybe this is just a little bit pre-early and we might see Micro Gods walk that path as well?
It's definitely good. One thing I'd have to say about like the higher end of ANZ scene, like the better players, that they all have like, so many people have different kinds of like beef, as you'd call it, like drama with each other. It's like if these people just put aside their differences, they'd make like so many good teams. You'd get at least 2 to 3 more good teams just by having the right people on the right teams.
Yeah.
Do you think those people splitting those teams up is going to allow more players rather into the competitive scene? Like hopefully they will branch out and create more teams and expand the scene in that way. That can be the benefit of them splitting up, I suppose.
Yeah, hopefully. I know a few of them are quitting though, so that opens up more space.
It's
always one way to open it up, I suppose.
It's always a tough one, isn't it? That you've constantly got team players of high caliber looking for other high caliber players, right? It's hard to be in that position where you're negative synergy, right? And you want to bring someone else onto the team for a different event. Who do you bring on? Like who do you go? Well, who plays at our level? And you think, do we want to do the investment to bring on a lower skilled player and try and build them up to our level? And I guess where I'm going with that, that's an interesting take, Ello, for Onyx eSports, because that's exactly what your team is trying to do, is be a competitive team, but still pick up slightly weaker players to add to your roster. Would Onyx eSports ever look at grabbing these high-end players that are jumping off from the teams?
I mean, yeah, if they're willing to join, I think Grump would probably try and bring, because of the team that like the lesser people, the lesser like players thing is more for the community thing.
Yeah.
Grump's setting up, whereas Grump like his team that he's trying to put together is he wants them to like go like to the next career or whatever it is. He wants that to happen. So like with Grump, like what's going to happen is he's got us 4. And if he's going to try and switch us, like people will probably get dropped. Like if I could get dropped tomorrow, and he would bring on, I don't know, someone that was on fresh or whatever, and like get all fresh onto his label and push them to go or whatever. He just wants it. He just wants a consistent team that like is able to make top 4 all the time. Like that's what Grump's after. So the top team, that's what he's looking for. So like I think he's trying to build it up to be like Jam, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it.
So there's 2 elements to Onyx eSports.
Yeah.
There's the community team and then the more competitive team.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that takes my point out of the water, doesn't it?
I really like his planning with that, though.
Yeah, it is a good idea.
Junior players that he gets to work with, he's going to get first pick if any of them are good enough and do want to join the competitive scene.
Yeah.
So I think that's very well played.
Yeah, I guess he does have access to all the amateurs, doesn't he? If you look at it, not that you can call our scene pro, but if you looked at, let's just designate amateur and pro players. Yeah, he gets access to the next up-and-coming pros from the amateur pool, or the low-end amateurs against the high-end amateurs.
Well, there are some good like people out there that are unknown. Like Benjamin 94 is a good example. No one really knew who he was. Like they'd see him in Hero League every now and then, but no one really knew who he was. But when obviously he joined this team, like he's grown so much as a player just by having the opportunity to like Rob and Sashin, for example, like show him the way, and he's so much better now.
Who came up with that beautiful build for Li Ming? So we still see a lot of teams building Li Ming for a little bit of damage, for high damage, but Benjamin seems to build Leeming more for survivability. Was that a Benjamin initiative, or is that something you guys developed as a team? Or is it just something that you do with Leeming and I'm just completely out of it?
Well, it is
I
like the
noticed
one of
that on
two
his Leeming, he
builds.
takes a lot
Yeah,
more
the
teleport-focused abilities.
Yeah. It's not that strange of a build, but that's what he prefers.
Oh, sorry, Ninja, if you're speaking, I can't hear you.
Hello?
I can hear.
Can you hear me?
All right, sorry, guys. Give me a second. Sound seems to have, I don't know, bugged out or something. All right, can you try speaking for me again?
Hello? Can't
Oh,
hear
never
me?
mind. Yeah, sorry. Yep, speak, sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, your sound was working. I accidentally bumped the volume control on my headset. And it ruined everything. Sorry, go again. Sorry.
Yeah, we're just talking about something like teleport build.
Yeah, no, just with
That's not
Benjamin.
that strange of a build. That's just like the one of the two builds for Leeming. Yeah.
We just seemed to be a very early adapter of it. I noticed he did in the qualifiers, but still a lot of other teams were still building it, looking at that glass cannon, looking at those other abilities higher in the do damage. But Benjamin just consistently, survivability. Leeming does enough damage now that she doesn't need to worry about adding any more damage talents. But no, it's just something interesting. It's a very early adapter of it. So you're right, Benjamin's a great, amazing player. So just going back again to what we were talking about, teams disbanding. It's it's a good thing teams have gone. We'll have more players in the pool, so hopefully newer teams or current teams that have decided to stick around will be able to find new players. Speaking of that, actually, talking to some of the Jam Gaming, we've actually seen Kyanite Esports and Jam Gaming are merging in a way. Jam Gaming is currently trialing out, I think it's I can't remember now, is it trialing out Against Time and a couple of other boys, JoeBot and things like that from Kyanite Esports. I've also heard rumors that Demise from Override is also trialing for Jam Gaming. So we're already seeing those teams from the top four who have disbanded starting to branch out and go into other organizations. Like we said, it's good for the scene. What do you think about that, about Kyanite Esports players going over the Jam? But more importantly, Jam's actually dropped their entire list, and everyone's having to reapply for their positions on the team. Is that a bit of a shock to anyone?
Not really. I think they're trying to be as competitive as possible. So if it didn't work out for this championship, they're going to rebuild for the next one.
Yep.
Because it's the label. It's not like a group of 5 guys working together. It's people playing under a label. So the management will be like, well, you 5 guys didn't work, so we're going to build up for a new team or whatever. I think that's what, I'm not sure, but I'm just assuming that's what's happened. So it doesn't come as a complete surprise.
Does Onyx have a similar relationship compared to you, Ello, and sort of like, let's say it's competitive players? Like with Grumpshot, for example, like tomorrow, you just said earlier, if everyone on Fresh said, let's go to Onyx Esports and they rocked up, would Grump just dump you guys?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think that's a question for Grump.
Yeah.
But I think
I'm not going to say what I think about my boss on here.
I think like if he saw the opportunity to have his label he's trying to build up go overseas and stuff, and this is the best opportunity he's going to get, I think he probably would.
Yep. He'd look at it.
Yeah.
All right. So that's an interesting thing. Ninja, what about yourself? What about do you think a Kyanite's merger to Jam is a good thing, a weird thing? I don't know. Do you have any opinions on it?
Not really, I guess.
Yeah.
If they've done it, it's probably good for themselves.
No, just general. All right, and Polter, what about yourself?
Regarding Kyanite and Jam,
Yep.
I think it's good. But hopefully it brings Jam up and someone else to rival negative synergy again.
Yep.
Anything that's going to make it more competitive is always going to help, and it looks like they want to head that way. So.
Yeah. All right. So I probably should just express it. Maybe not so much Jam Gaming and Kyanite Esports merging, but most of the players from the Kyanite Esports
buying
roster.
the players.
Yeah, effectively, it's
away.
Aggressive corporate takeover by Jam. Kyanite. It's not. Kyanite players are trialing for Jam.
Yeah, that's what it
with
is.
Against Time being one of them as well himself. All right, and just Elo, get a little bit more. Is Onyx still looking for 2 members?
No, we're looking for one at the moment.
All right, what's available? What's on the list? What have you found, and what role are you still looking to fill?
We've found a ranged assassin. We're looking for a warrior player, main warrior.
Yep. All right, so
Yep.
still trying members out. So just Eamon,
Yeah.
so Eamon Onyx Esports is still up in a little bit of arms. It's man, how volatile did the scene become after the championships? Kyanite effectively have disbanded in this regard. Jam Gaming dropped their list, disbanded. Another team is still looking. Onyx Esports, Eamon has a up in the air roster at the moment, and Fresh and Microgods have just gone their own different way. I mean, yeah, the team is just so explosive after championships.
There's a good reason for that, I think. I think it's because like the scene's so new and like there's no sponsorship or like locking contracts or anything like that. So like it is just pretty much just groups of guys that like know each other's play and stuff. So they just get together, give it a crack. Doesn't work, disband, and then worry about the next one.
Yeah.
I think if once like the scene starts to grow and sponsors might roll in, you'll see more teams stick together and everything like that. So I think for now, and like for now, teams disbanding all the time and players switching around a lot and all that's sort of expected.
No, it's just the scene.
Yeah, it's the scene being fresh.
All right. Now that's it. That is for teams changing up. And right, and before we go and talk about the match balance changes that came out, like 2 days ago, just to completely screw over everyone in the new hero release, I would just like to present to the world. It is a draft sketch. It is a draft. So please, Morton had said, please let people know that this is a draft. But Negative Synergy will be dressing in these mighty jerseys for their career trip. He said they're still working on it. Please don't hold this as the final product. And there are sponsorship opportunities available for anyone listening because obviously they do cost money. And the team does need to fund a little bit of money to build these things up. So I don't know, have you guys seen these yet yourselves?
Briefly earlier. They were on the screen, so yeah.
No, not too easy there. It should be up on the stream now. I think they look amazing, and I think our scene should do this all the time. It's don't be a sponsored team. Go and just make your own jerseys. They're pretty nice. It's I don't know. It's Elo. Do you think Onyx Grumpshot might be a bit cheeky and sponsor and put the Onyx Esports logo on there?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
What do you reckon, Ninja? Do you think you guys would do that? Would accept other teams putting their logos on there?
Probably not, but
I don't think so.
Oh, it's alright. I just thought it was a sneaky thing to do. It's I have to say, I've actually already told Morton to lock me in for the front left of the jersey. I'll be putting on a logo there. I can't decide if it's going to be ANZ Heroes or Disconcur. I think, Ninja, you were saying I just sent through a picture of my face, hey?
yeah, we'll just stick it on the front.
That would be hilarious. But anyway, I think this is great. I hope this really works for you guys. Ninja, who should people get in contact if people do want to get themselves, their company, their whatever sponsored? Who they need to talk to?
Probably Morton, either through Battle.net or Twitter.
All right, he's just Morton D Short at Morton D Short on
Yeah.
Twitter. All right, definitely. I mean, they're just so cool. I mean, I love that design. Morton is a mad designer. He's got some awesome skills. I love his work. All right, so moving on. So we got a major. You call it major? No, minor patch, ain't you? Yeah. Anyway, we received a little bit of a minor patch to Heroes of the Storm recently. This week, in fact. That's just changing up the game a little bit again. Before we show the patch notes, what do you guys feel of this recent patch coming out by Blizzard?
Yeah, I think there's some good quality of life changes in there, definitely. Regarding the ability call out with the old click, I think they'll become really beneficial, more so in Hero League. Because you don't have a voice chat. Obviously, Zul's awesome.
Yep.
But we'll get to that. And Rhaegar, I like some of the changes there. But again, we'll clarify them, I suppose. But overall, I think it was a good patch, yeah.
All right, so let's look at it. So I'll switch screens so people can read the patch when we have a look. So there's general, just general patches. Obviously, the Lunar Festival is no longer in effect. That's gone. Yeah, yay, because I hated that stupid monkey. What did you guys think about that monkey quest or thing? Are you glad to see it go? Did it excite the start of your games?
Free gold.
No.
Free gold once a day. Yeah, I could live. I could
The
spank
first
the
time was
monkey.
good.
Spank the monkey once a day. Free gold. Hey. Everyone goes quiet. All right. So I guess the biggest thing that came out this patch was the new hero Zul, the cryptic necromancer. Tell me, guys, what do you think of this new specialist that have joined us on the scene, Polter? Zul, is he the specialist that the scene needed, or did they get the specialist the scene wanted?
I don't know. I think he's going to crush pretty much every assassin and 90% of tanks.
Yep.
Not so much crush, but I mean, I think it's level 4 where he can spec into 75% attack speed slow.
Yep.
A click and target route. I mean, yeah, he can do a lot. So I think he's going to shake it up a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, his lane presence is phenomenal.
So about to say, Ninja, what do you feel about his curse? So he can effectively curse the heroes in an arc, by the way. So, or an arc in front of him hits a whole series of heroes. You could hit 2, 3, 4. Who knows, the entire team. How impactful do you think that the attack speed slow is going to be against the current meta and environment?
It's really strong. So if you're versing a Thrall and you have Zul, that pretty much negates a lot of his damage as soon as he goes into melee range. The whole hero is stupidly strong.
Is he too strong? Or is he a
I
balanced hero?
reckon he's
really
probably
strong.
too strong.
Yeah. He's what so that do you got any more possible insight, or is it just really going to be he's going to be a hard counter now for those auto attack heroes?
Yeah, pretty much. And at level 20, that healing reduction is probably one of his biggest factors.
Oh, yeah. I've been playing Zul.
Yeah.
I think I'm up to level 9 with him.
Oh,
I love that healing
Okay.
reduction. I copped a Rhaegar with it. You can get Divine Palm with it. It's got 1 second longer than the stasis of Divine Palm. So as long as you time it right before the target dies, he gets no healing out of it.
Oh,
That's
wow.
insane.
So it even affects that. That's massive. Does this potential... so obviously it affects all healing like that. Could we possibly see Uther rise again in popularity? Because his Divine Shield's not a form of healing? Or do you think you're just going to, it's not really going to mix up the support roles as such? It's really just going to affect these auto attacks?
Yeah, in a way, that's true, but Uther struggles against poisons and just a lot of AoE damage. So if you were to pick Poison Nova, that just Uther can't heal that much AoE damage.
So tell me, Zul wrecks everyone.
Probably.
What about really strong? Will we see maybe double mage come out? If a Zul comp's picked on the opposite team, do you think double mage might be a thing, or does Zul even have quite a strong presence in the game, affecting those heroes? Again, maybe Poison Nova. It's just so much damage against squishy mages.
Yeah, that could be. Obviously, we haven't scrimmed with it, but just going a full range comp with one tank and just staying away from him.
Yeah.
Just kite him, I guess.
All that against potentially one hero.
You'd really need a healer that got heal over time as well. Definitely. If he takes Poison Nova.
Yep, so massive. So Ello, what about yourself? What are your opening thoughts on Zul hitting the Nexus?
I haven't played him a whole lot. We did a little mess around scrim with some of the boys yesterday. Just test him out one time with us, one time with him on the other team. And he seemed fine. I think he seems really strong. Definitely has a pretty big impact depending on how you draft and what you're drafting against and stuff. So I think he's going to be seen quite a bit moving forward. So.
What do you feel about his bone prison? I'm looking at his kit, and the curse is pretty powerful. The attack slow. The scythe is kind of nice. It's a little bit of fancy damage. The bone shield, the extra ability, the bone shield is cool. But what's your take on the bone prison? It's personally, I think that's going to be really impactful in games because even though it does have a ramp up time, it's a harder mobilization. You click the opponent, they're in it. There's no escape. There's no fancy way to avoid it. It's just they've just got to hopefully notice it's on them and start running. What's your feel that's going to impact on the game?
I think it's like gonna make early game ganks with Zul really good. I think like rotating to his lane and him just popping it as he sees sees you rotating to the lane. Let's secure some easy kills.
Yeah.
It is really strong though.
Well, I'm thinking like a Diablo mix. Diablo goes in, throws over the shoulder, bone prison's there. It's like, all right, just wait 2 seconds, bam, everyone ganks.
It's even a really good initiator as a whole, even for a team fight. If you can get that on one side, that leaves it open for so much more, whether it be more mosh pit, whatever you've got.
It's good for the all-in heroes as well, like Diablo. Like putting it on Diablo as he goes, trying to go his all-in, so it just stops him and
definitely
gives the peel for the backline, I suppose. I don't know, I haven't played a whole lot, so I can't.
It's more speculation at the moment.
Yeah, it's not hypothetical.
All right. Well, I mean, we'll get a lot of playing of Zul over the next couple of days. Maybe on next week's show, we'll talk a little bit about talent builds, what you could do with Zul or what you should do with Zul. Just to finish off the little conversation on him, Poison Nova or Spectral Mages? What's your current choice of heroics? So what do you feel with heroic really is impactful with Zul? Ninja, I haven't heard from you for a while. What would you take on Zul? Poison Nova or Skeletal Mages?
I like Poison Nova, but Rob likes Skeletal Mages. Like, if I just had to give an opinion on both, I think Skeletal Mages, they can be good in certain situations. Like, if the other team just happens to ignore them and they're just wailing on the whole team during a team fight and they just don't realize it. It's like fighting in a minion wave. All that minion wave damage adds up over time. So it's like, it's pretty much what Skeletal Mages do. But if you kill them, that's not really going to do anything.
Yeah. All right.
I've found him. I reckon Poison Nova again. I agree. I love Poison Nova every time I play. That's what I normally do. Skeletal Mages, I think, is good, but I think you've got to commit to level 20 upgrade.
Yeah.
Which 9 times out of 10 isn't going to be worth it over the healing reduction, or even the I forget what it's called, the attack in a line at level 20.
Oh, the spear. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, it's a good zoning method. I used it today on Battlefield of Eternity, just in a Hero League game. I mean, it worked really well. It was only the first or second Immortal, but it worked really well on keeping the enemy from coming in towards our Immortal. I was scared of it, probably didn't know what it did, so.
Alright, cool. And Ello, what about yourself? Skeletal Mages or Poison Nova?
I think they're both good.
Yeah. Situational.
Poison Nova's obviously like probably going to be awesome in 5v5 fights, but Skeletal Mages probably has more utility and uses outside of that, so I'm not sure. It's like I said, I have to practice him and play him a heap and see what I like.
See what happens.
But I do like the idea of Skeletal Mages.
Yeah. Alright, cool. So far it's 2-3. Unfortunately, Elo, so you've lost.
Sure.
Polter and Ninja going the Poison Nova.
Doesn't mean he's wrong.
Yeah, I like Poison Nova.
Group consensus.
But both can be good.
Yeah, they're both good.
The Skeleton Mage is a bit more situational, isn't it? What team you're playing, how you're playing. Where Poison Nova is kind of your safe pick because you know it's going to do a ton of damage every time.
You've got two guys here who are talking about coordinated play, and my experience is ranked 30 Hero League, so it's probably 1-1.
Yep. That's all good. It's where the major strats are developed, right? Hero League. It's where all the pro stuff happens. Ranked 30. All right, so
they're at the championship with the hot slog ranking is up.
All right, so moving on. So shops changed because obviously we've got some price reduction on Thrall. He's now cheaper. A great hero is now cheaper, except that now Zul's out and can potentially counter him. So maybe that was well timed with Thrall's buff and a little bit of nerf due to new heroes.
It's horrible. Yeah.
All right, user interface. So how great is this change? User interface, you can now have 4 more observers during custom games. And it also actually increases the amount of people that can be in replay lobbies as well. So you can have 16 people that are in replay and 6 observers in total in custom games. Very, very quickly, because I don't think we should dwell on it too much. How cool is this going to be for tournaments?
I think it's awesome for the bilingual side of things.
Yeah.
As most other esports, you can have more than one caster, more than one team of casters.
Yeah, you don't have to
From that
rely
side,
on clean feeds now, given
Just
you
coaching
low.
purposes. Like
Yeah.
even if Ello can elaborate, Onyx esports might use, but they sit there with their competitive team doing scrims, but they have 5 of their junior players in watching.
Yeah, I think we're going to utilize that a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be great for new teams analyzing observer slot. What so besides bilingual support, what else? So in the ANZ region, how can we really benefit from this, from say our from events and stuff?
Well, if like a grand final, for example, like if you're casting with Happy Rage and then Skimmy and Starving are casting on another stream, now you can both cast a grand final on 2 different streams if you wanted to. So, yeah.
Yeah, it allows for multiple casting duos.
Yeah.
I think it's good for the like Europe and stuff where they have different languages and stuff. Like
Yeah, like if more people want to start casting now, they can get into it with no restriction.
Cool. You can be a part of community events can be much bigger from a stream perspective. It's pretty cool. I was actually thinking about, from a very technical point of view, is you could literally have one location that sets the stream and does the camera work, and another location doing the casting. I think that's a pretty cool thing in its own right as well. I just got to be able to way to separate the camera work from the stream computer, and you'd be set. Make life really easy. But that's really cool. So it's good for teams, good for streams, good for everything. Love the observer slots, Blizzard. Keep it up, do more cool and stuff like that. And Polter, what do you think of this change or addition to the game? You can now ping ability cooldowns.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think it's just a convenience side of thing for people who like to communicate and hear a leak or whatnot. I don't know if these guys would use it much. I dare say they might. I don't know. They'll be able to tell you that. But just for a communication side, it saves you typing. Your team might is a strong word here, but they might actually stop and not engage if you tell them you don't have an ulti.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I guess it's more power with information. That feature's already in Overwatch, so in other Blizzard titles you can do it. So now it's finally on Heroes of the Storm. I don't know, Ninja, Ello, do you have any comments on that?
I love it, man. It's awesome. Like just being able to like click your heroic, just be like in a Hero League game, you have no other communication.
Yeah.
Just click your heroic. It's on cooldown for 10 seconds, rotating up to the shrine on Infernal Shrines. Gonna try and fight.
Yeah.
Makes things a lot easier.
A little bit easier.
Outside of that, you know, whatever. But I think it's huge for the Hero League games.
Yeah. I don't know, Ninja, do you reckon that this is going to help much in competitive games, or is the fact you can communicate over, Twitch, over Skype, TeamSpeak, Discord, whatever, is already good enough for that?
Yeah, you're not going to ping in the middle of like a tournament game. You'd rather just say it over TeamSpeak.
Yeah.
It's really only going to help quick match in Hero League.
Yeah. But still a good addition, I feel, from Blizzard's side anyway. All right, so moving on. All right, so we've talked, we've got through all the boring stuff in the patch notes. Except for Zul, he's cool. Let's look at Assassins. So, poor Nova has, I don't know how to express change now. Like, Nova's gone through some changes. People aren't still happy with where she is now. They think she's considerably weaker. Do you feel this change to Nova that increased damage from her snipe ability? Do you think increasing the damage can have any much of effect? And they've also gone and increased the bonus damage on that snipe mastery talent. Ello, does Blizzard just have to admit defeat and say, look, we made a mistake with Snipe Master? It's not ever going to be a real thing.
I don't know. Say we made a mistake with Nova.
I haven't played Nova since my first 50 games of playing the game, so I can't really tell you what it was like. But she definitely before, like when you saw a Nova, you're like, oh, whatever, you can still, it's not too bad because she can just like 100 to O people. But now it's like, ugh, Nova. So I'm not sure. Maybe this does fix her a little bit. I have no idea, man.
All right, well, Ninja, we'll go to you. How do you feel about Nova currently? And do you feel this change really does much for her, or is Snipe Master it's not going to be a thing? Blizzard stop trying to make it a thing.
It might be a thing in quick match where like you're not doing Merc, you're just running around killing people. But in competitive, like if you pick Nova and you go do a boss, you're going to lose all your stacks to help kill the boss, or you're not going to do any damage to keep the stacks. It's just a stupid idea.
Yeah. And they seem to be pushing it so heavy. Like trying like this is how we want Nova to play with the Snipe Master. I think one in the chamber is what people normally take with Nova when they're playing it. If they think that's the same talent tier as Snipe Master, I hope so.
Follow through, yeah.
Oh, sorry, follow through, yeah.
Well, it's called one in the chamber, but that's like the equivalent of follow through, just with a different name.
Yeah. See, I knew what it was called. I was trying to remember, like, what it was called. What did it do again? Can't remember. All right, so it's just
the same symbol as follow through from memory.
So just really, it's all right. So what do you feel? How do you feel you could fix Nova at the moment?
It's just bad design, to be honest.
Yeah, she has no mobility.
She's got no mobility.
And she has to come out from the flank as well. Like, it's pointless sniping a tank. So she's like always in a the flank position, trying to get the back line. And she's got no proper escape besides like putting a DK down or whatever. So I don't know. I've always thought she was pretty meh hero. Yeah.
So it's really from like what Ninja said. It's the design problem. Is you're always behind the enemy in a bad situation, and they're trying to fix her by pushing people down this talent. Just we'll fix it by making her do heaps of damage, but you get punished for missing your snipes, which is just so detrimental. Do you think they could do something here where maybe instead of the snipes go up and down? So if you build up to 5 stacks, but then if you miss, it only goes down 1, as opposed to losing all the stacks. I don't know. Is there anything like that? Like maybe just they need to change how the stacks are lost to make it not so punishing. Really, it's punishing to play Nova at the moment.
I think it's just the hero's badly designed. Like I haven't played StarCraft obviously, so I don't know what she's supposed to do in that game, how she is, but like in HOTS, just she's built to blow people up, but she can't do that because they've nerfed her.
Yeah.
So,
and if she fails to do it, she's got no way to to get away. Yeah. Unlike Zeratul, who is perfect. He can go in there, things get bad, he can get out.
Yeah, the 2 comparisons to the Invis heroes are ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, so that's Assassins. Nova changes. It may help a little bit in quick match, but we're still not going to see too many competitive picks. It's only a slight damage increase, and you're still punished with stacks for missing. All right, moving on to another change we saw is poor Rhaegar. He was buffed so mightily, has such a good impact on games, and he's received a nerf in this patch. He received a nerf in the last patch. I don't know. Do you feel it's? I don't know. Let's just talk about Rhaegar. I don't know. Polter, what's your feel on what's happened with what they're trying to do with Rhaegar?
I've only ever started playing Rhaegar since the buff. He's also my highest win rate in Hero League. I think I'm on 75%.
Yep.
Which is horrible, but hey, irrelevant. Look, I don't think this has nerfed him too much. I think it's nerfed the shield build, obviously.
Yeah.
But he can still heal quite well. So I think you'll still see him. He obviously won't be. Well, I don't think he'll be the first pick anymore. But again, yet to be seen. So.
Yeah. All right. What about Ninja? What's your take? So they've decreased his radius on the lightning shield with the electric charge. It's gone down from 33% to 25%. I don't know. Do you what do you feel like with the lightning shield? Like, is his lightning shield fine at the moment, or does it need to be fine tuned like this, or should they be looking to fix up his other talents?
I think it's fine. Like nerfing a few talents. I think the Stormcaller, like reducing the duration increase, was pretty stupid.
Yeah.
The talent just sucks now.
Yeah, you didn't take it for the mana reduction, did you?
I think it's fine. Like his Q still does so much healing, and if you build for slow totem, it can make such an impact.
Yeah.
So I think the changes are fine. He'll be in a good spot.
All right, so you think these are actually good for Rhaegar. What about the increased on his ancestral healing? 80 seconds increased to 100 seconds. Was that needed? And was that needed? Could Rhaegar just heal too often, or is 80 seconds to 100 seconds like it's already 80 seconds, Blizzard. The extra 20 seconds, it's ignoring that extra fight anyway.
Yeah, maybe they could have just changed it to 90. I think a cooldown increase is fine.
But just a massive increase. I don't know.
Yeah, it might ruin him. But a lot of his healing comes from his Q. So.
Yeah. I was just thinking of the ancestral healing. Like I said, it was at 80 seconds. It was already quite long. To increase it out to 100 seconds, I mean, is that really impactful? It's only an extra 20 seconds. And you're only having it for sort of every second fight anyway. So I think you'll still effectively have it for every second fight. You're not really going to... I don't know that those 20 seconds add that much. But, at the end game, it might be a huge impact.
It does kind of look like lately they've been changing, like BFG, for example.
Yeah.
They up the damage, but they up the cooldown as well. So it's kind of what they're doing.
Yeah.
With that.
Push out
it's
the impact.
A big heal. You increase the heal, but then your baseline healing is fine as well.
Trying to make the ultimates more ultimate.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Fair enough. And what about this line here? I know Ello. Bloodlust. Its mana's reduced.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Bloodlust, mate. Guys on the team always talk about Bloodlust. I'm just like, nah, I don't know, guys. Ancestral Healing's too strong. I think to give up, even if the 20 seconds, I don't know. Like, maybe. It's something you definitely have to test, but I think Ancestral Healing is just such a great cooldown. So
yeah. All right. So I guess just summary. Just a summary of change to Rhaegar. Still. So Ello, we were talking to you. We'll continue talking to you. Rhaegar, strong pick. Still a strong pick.
Good, yeah, still good.
All right.
He hasn't dropped to bottom tier, so
no worries. Polter, what about yourself? Rhaegar, is he still a strong pick, or have these changes ruined him?
I think he's still good. Like I said, I don't think he'll be the first pick anymore.
Yeah.
He's not the definite ban or pick, but definitely still one of the best supports.
No worries. And a Ninja, last off, Rhaegar, is he still a decent pick?
Yeah, he'll have his place for sure.
Yeah. Done. That's it. So nice little changes. Still very decent pick, but possibly maybe not first one, and it might open up his talent diversity. I don't know. We'll see. So those are the only two heroes that got updated this patch. Obviously, Zul coming out is kind of like a little bit of a soft or hard nerf, however you want to see it, for a lot of auto attack characters. So it's good that they didn't do too many deep nerfs with the addition of a new hero. All right. So coming back, so that is it for anything happening around the scene at the moment. We will do some viewer questions before we finish the night. So let's get started. There was some great questions actually come out from the forums today. Not that I should sound too surprised saying that. Let me just bring them up. I thought I had them and I closed them by accident. Sorry, production values. Come on. All right, here we are. So these questions, this first question comes from Starving. He says, for you, Ninja, he wants us to generally ask the games. We didn't really talk too much about at the championships, but we sort of indicated a little bit. How did you feel on the day Negative Synergy did during all your games? Asked by Starving from the forums.
We played pretty well for the most part. We had a rough couple games, but even then, our rough games we still win. So overall, I think we did pretty well, and that showed. We won. Yep,
came out on the day. And just a follow-up question, Starving also asked. Obviously, we've talked about it a little bit more, but just to reiterate, how do you feel about your games later in Korea this year? And then I'll just combine them with a question from AC the Man as well. It says, what teams are you actually looking forward to coming up against in Korea as well?
Hopefully we can win. Yeah. But our favourites diverse. I know our team's a big fan of people like Zuna, for example. So if we got the opportunity to verse Navantic, for example, that'd be pretty enjoyable. just for the experience, not maybe losing to them.
I would enjoy going to Korea and getting to kill Zuna on the enemy team.
But it'd make it even more enjoyable if you did win.
Yeah. To be able to come up against what you consider to be some of your star players, people that you idolize, and then getting to play against them and then win against them. Be a cool experience. All right, so Zuna. Is there any other players or any other teams in their own right? Not that we know all the teams yet.
Not really. There's not too many teams. I think it's just Korea, China so far. It's just EU that haven't qualified yet. Not really.
All right, so Arcana did ask Ninja again. These are all Ninja questions, by the way. It's is Native Synergy looking for a sponsor? Obviously, you're doing a lot of self sponsorship at the moment, aren't you? Or doing self search for adding sponsors on. You're not looking to take any game name. You're not going to be XL5 or Immunity. You're going to be Native Synergy with sponsors.
During the qualifiers before all this, we talked to like ANZ or to see what they had to offer, but no one really offered anything that we wanted. It's usually just travel costs, but that's already covered, all that stuff. But like since we've won, we've reached out to international orgs to see if they're interested, because we are going to like the world final pretty much of season 1.
All right,
but
so
we haven't really heard back from anyone.
So it's quite possible that Negative Synergy could become something going to the championships.
It's possible, but seeing as like no one's really got back to us, that's why we've been working on doing our own stuff, like Team Jersey, for example.
Yep, no, fair enough. All right, just looking to see if anyone else has got any. All right, so this one's from Morton. Morton asks again, Ninja. Sorry, Ello, Polter. I'm sure there's some question coming. Ninja, Morton asks, how do you feel about meeting your team in real life? And which of your teammates are you looking forward to meeting the most?
It'll be interesting, like seeing as you've talked to them so much over the internet before, like you've never talked to them face to face. So it'll be interesting, I guess. Who am I most excited to meet in particular? Not really anyone. Actually, if I had to say someone, it'd be Morton.
Yeah.
Good old Morton.
Will Morton be going to Korea in some way, shape, or form? Because the flights are only for the actual team itself that played, isn't it? And Morton falls into a bit of a different manager role for yourself for the team.
It was 5 players and a sub or a manager / coach. So
okay, so he actually
bringing Morton as our manager.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So he does get to fly across as well. Oh, that's awesome. So you're looking forward to meeting Morton, the man himself.
Yeah. Top lad Morton.
Yep. Oh, that's really good. I wasn't sure exactly how the team arrangements were for flying and stuff. No, that's good that you get to take Morton as well, because Morton does a great job for the scene, I have to admit. For your team, he's done all the Royal Rumbles past in the scene. He's an asset.
Yeah.
Sometimes he uses his powers for evil, but he's an asset most of the majority, 99% of the time. All right, that's awesome. All right, see what other questions have cropped up.
That's a good one from Benjamin.
Which one's that? The Benjamin 94. Again, at Ninja, who has had the biggest impact on the team, and why was it Benjamin?
I think Rob definitely goes unnoticed on the weekend, like specifically with those MVP votes. I don't know if you saw them because you were casting.
Yeah.
But like Happy Rage would do those. And it'd always be like me, Sashin, or Ben. But like the support players and the tank players definitely go unnoticed in that regard. So it's either Rob or Dasper, that's for sure.
Yeah. Ooh. The way Benjamin asked that question, I don't think he was expecting you to say someone that wasn't Benjamin. I have to point that out.
No, he wanted me to say him, but
yeah,
not going to happen.
It was hinted. It was hinted in his question. All right, so some love for the supports and Warrior players out there. Well, that giant mosh pit coming off Roba in that game, 5-man mosh pit off the Gust was pretty amazing to see. All right, just seeing if we can find some more questions. Sorry, I gotta get a better way to put all these down. I'm looking for some questions for Ello or Polter.
Nah, the spotlight will be on Ninja, which is great.
It's all Ninja. It's good.
Now, you guys got to have some questions too.
All right, so here we go. Here's a question.
To be honest, I had about 3 or 4 questions specifically for you. One I asked earlier, or rather answered myself, and the other 3 are in the questions read, and you've already answered, so I can't do much else.
It's great when all your questions get answered. Here's another one. So this is an interesting one. Talk to us a little bit about this one, Ninja. I don't know if I agree on it, but maybe you might. It says, it's a question for Ninja, comes from Facebook. The personal opinion is that negative synergy looks a little weak against Avatar. And is there anything you're doing that the team's doing to sort of develop against that comp? Out of interest, is that a legitimate statement that your team, that negative synergy struggles a little bit against Avatar?
I have a feeling this is kind of a troll question from like one of our team, but I'll answer it anyway. It's definitely, we all hate playing against Avatar. It's just the worst hero to verse, running into mines. It's so annoying. I guess it is a weakness, but yeah.
I think the angle they were coming from is there was a lot of bans on the weekend coming up against Avatar. And I think the follow-on comment is, you can't just be banning the heroes all the time. So they're wondering if there's any particular training or strategies you're coming up with to deal against Avatar, or if you're gonna go, mate, we get a ban before anyone gets to pick nothing. Avatar's out every single time.
Yeah, we actually did that a lot. Like we'd first ban Avatar and then look to pick certain heroes that would have been good. But, I mean, would have been bad if they had Avatar, but like now you can pick them because they don't have it. So.
It's not a worry. All right, so not actively doing anything as such, but it is something that you do agree there is a point that your team go, look, we just hate playing against Avatar.
Yeah, it's probably a weakness. You could call it that.
Everyone hates versing Avatar though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. Did you see that hook against Avatar, but...
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That was it Steve-O on Stitches, I think? Hooked Avatar? Physics on Avatar? New, that's it.
New.
Oh my god, that was so good. I think everyone around the world went, I have dreamed of doing that to Avatar.
Yeah.
Alright. Well,
Mize had a question in chat.
Yeah, there's one in chat.
Alright, Polter, can I get you to get the questions out of chat for us?
Yeah, sure. So from Demise to Ello. How do you think Onyx will flare coming into the next season? Do you feel you can be a top-tier team with the right practice coming into it, or will it take longer than just a couple of months?
Well, once we get our 5th player and we have 5, and we feel like we have 5 stable people, and we're just going to start practicing as much as we can. We're going to scrim pretty much 4 or 5. We're going to try and scrim 4 or 5 times a week if we can, like get as many teams. So hopefully, within the next couple of months, we can start taking games off the top teams and being considered top tier. It's all depends on a few things, but hopefully, yes.
Cool.
That's it. That's the only one in chat.
I'm really excited to see some of the teams like Onyx eSports and even Jam, however they form, to start placing a little bit higher up in the tournaments and stuff. I think it'd be great to see you guys just to. Negative Synergy does a little bit for me and well in that regards, is that the teams that stick around the longest or train the longest together seem to be becoming the best rewarded teams. They're winning tournaments, they're improving, they're starting to get like core members on their team now. I'm really liking to see that. However, having said that, Override, Micro Gods, and Fresh, all in the championships, were rushed together teams. So, teams. Pick-up group teams, right, in essence, for the tournament. So I'm really excited to see you guys evolve and get better. And that is an Onyx joke as well.
Disco?
Yep.
2 more questions in chat. Someone wants to know, 49, Nimmer J Neb. Did you get anything other than flights to Sydney for casting?
Yeah, that's Benjamin 94.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's named backwards.
Yeah.
I think anything other than flights.
Someone could have told me that earlier.
All right, so do I get anything? Yeah, I guess I
wants
can
to know
say
how
it.
much
I was
the
actually
suit
I was
was
actually paid for the gig.
You what?
I was paid to do the casting.
That's awesome, man.
How much I was paid, I don't know because I haven't been paid yet. But that's my own fault because
Nonetheless, it's money.
it's
You're doing something you love.
it's not much money, but yeah, no, I was paid. I think you find most people, like even the cameraman, was paid for that day's work. I have no idea if I'm allowed to say that or not, but I'm saying it anyway.
There was a fair few viewers at in points of the thing, like especially when the NA region quit had finished up. We got there was a couple thousand. So
The production was high enough that I felt there was no issue with everything that happened on the day. But yeah, was that Onyx? How much was the suit? The suit I wore was exceptionally cheap as far as suits go. The jacket came from Target, and the shirt came from a store called Ed Harry's. And the tie I borrowed from someone that morning. In fact, the tie was actually broken, and you couldn't see it, but I had to use a safety pin to hold it all together. So, yep. Take what you will with that. All right, and there was a I guess there was some questions as well directed towards me at the thing. I guess I'll read one out. Onyx also asked, how did I find the casting compared to, say, the qualifiers? I found the casting of the qualifier, the qualifiers is bedroom casting, which I think the qualifier casting was good. It was great. The production value was good considering it was bedroom casting, but the championships casting was studio quality, studio production quality. You know, it was high end stuff. It's really good. And I think we already. All right, here's an interesting one actually for Ello and Plotter, and throw to Ninja as well. Plotter, go first. Someone's just asked. It's actually a Turnix has asked. What is the funniest username you've actually seen while playing Heroes of the Storm?
I saw a choke pair, both in placement game.
Yeah.
One named Fuchsia, one named Thank You. Fuchsia played Cho, Thank You played Girl.
I've seen them too. Yeah.
All right. Now I'm not going to say that, but tell the people on the stream what that comes out to on show.
I'll type it.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, Ello, what about yourself? What's the funniest name you've seen?
I don't know. I can't really remember. I don't pay much attention to other people's in-game battle tags, to be honest. But it's probably something vulgar like that.
Yeah, the worst name. I just look at everyone and just call them Feeder 1, Feeder 2, Feeder 3.
Yeah. Salty Nerd 1, Salty Nerd 2.
All right, Ninja, what about yourself? What's the funniest username you've seen up to date?
Can't really think of one off the top of my head.
You're like Ello, I just don't really pay attention to people's names.
I mean, I've probably seen funny ones, but just not going to remember that. Yeah.
No, too easy. All right. Actually, to be honest, I can't think of any weird names I've seen. I've seen either. I've seen more weird names than actual funny names. Like, I know I've seen lots of names. I go, that's obviously someone at Curtin University, and they're using their student ID as their team name and stuff like that. So I've seen lots of stuff like that. Nothing funny. More clever than funny. All right. Well, that is it. That is all the time we have for questions tonight. I just want to say a huge thank you to Ninja from Negative Synergy coming on the show tonight, and Ello as well from Onyx eSports. You guys have been great. Thank you very much. So, Ninja, tell us, where can people get a hold of you if they want to talk more Heroes of the Storm with Ninja, ANZ Champion Season 1, 2016?
They can find me on Battle.net, I guess, if you need to talk to me for whatever reason. Ninja, #6686. I'll type it in chat, but that's about it. Yeah.
Too easy. Thanks very much for coming on the show tonight. Ello, what about yourself? Where can people get a hold of Ello, the Onyx eSports man?
Best way is Battle.net and Twitter. My
Battle.net tag is Ello #1668, and my Twitter handle is @OnyxElo. That's it.
All right, and Polter, thanks very much for coming on the show. Next week, we'll get you way more on the show than we're involved tonight. But where can people get a hold of you to find out a little bit more about one of the new hosts for Heroes Untapped?
Yeah, my battle tag's Polter #1670. Feel free to add me. Probably don't add me if you want advice. I'll probably take advice off you. So
add me if you like to give advice.
Feel free.
All right, guys, and obviously I am a Disconcur. You can find me on Twitter @Disconcur. Find me on Facebook, Disconcur. Go to disconcur.com is my website, and obviously in the game I am Disconcur #1440. So please feel free to send me a friend invite, and I'm happy to talk Heroes of the Storm all the time. I'll get you in contact with people who are way better at talking Heroes of the Storm than I am. But thanks very much for everyone that watched the show tonight. It's great having you guys around. And until next week, play safe and stay away from Zul, because he is trying to give you some sort of disease. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Until next week, it is in Heroes Untapped.